Hey guys, we got a new segment that we're starting at the Duke Roufus Striking University. I got Coach Kush with me, my main man, my brother from another mother. He actually lives a couple blocks away from me, so we are down. Speaking of his credentials, he's trained all the top guys. He just helped Gerald Mearshart, who had an incredible first fight debut in the UFC, impeccable striking performance. Got it to the mat, front headlock drag, and submitted his opponent and won a bonus. So that made his day and his Christmas. Great job to Gerald Mearshart. We got a fight announcement coming for him soon. That being said, we're talking the big UFC coming up. UFC 207, the return of Ronda Rousey versus champion Amanda Nunes in the main event for the women's bantamweight title. Speaking of bantamweight titles, we're going to go with the men's bantamweight title. We got defending champion Dominic Cruz, who's classy fighter, been there a long time, versus young upstart Cody Gerbrandt. So let's go with the semi-main event, the men's bantamweight title. We're going to talk keys to victory. We won't get the prediction yet. What do you think the champion has to do, and what do you think the contender has to do to win?
I think Dominic has to just keep doing what he does. You got to keep his footwork going, and he's got to stay disciplined and stay long. He's got to be very selective of when he comes in strong at Cody. You know, Cody's obviously has probably some of the best power in that division, and so I think he needs to stay long and be very smart, be patient with it, and not try to overcommit anything, get emotional about anything. And Cody's the same thing. He can't get emotional either, but he's got to use that smart, aggressive pressure. He's got great boxing. He's starting to add in some knees and everything else to his repertoire. And I think when he doesn't land that big power shot, he needs to start getting his lead hand, working a little bit more his jab, but then getting that constant pressure. Don't give Dominic room to go backwards and then set. If he goes backwards, he should be moving forward all the time.
Well, I tell you, the UFC giving us a great New Year's Eve card. I think it's going to be a great fight. I'm fans of both guys. I'm friends with both guys. I'm not in their beef. I'm not picking sides. They're both great guys in my book. I got to tell you, Dominic Cruz, I agree with you. Keep doing what you've done to be successful. That's it. He's just got to be mindful of the striking of Cody, and as well, I know we're talking striking, but it is a mixed martial arts fight. Use clinching in wrestling when it's advantageous for him not to get hit. Use it to disrupt his striking so that he doesn't get knocked out by Cody, because he brings it. Cody, I second everything that you said. He's got to be technically aggressive, not over emotional. Don't get caught in Dominic's head tricks. He's right up there with Conor McGregor of luring you out of your game, playing that psychology game. He's a master of his craft, and he's a very intelligent guy, and he's very cold and calculated with what he says to people and how he does it, and you just got to be above it. I think the key thing he's got to do is Dominic, sometimes he is so good at what he does, the better someone gets at something, they start taking bigger risks. They get their weight out over this knee. They get their weight out over that knee. That's Cody's chance to capitalize. That's what Chris Weidman did against Anderson Silva. He caught Anderson Silva not in the best position. And if I were with Cody's camp, I believe his uncle is his boxing coach from Ohio. Great people, obviously our friends at Alpha Male, one of the top camps in MMA. They should have a great game plan with Uriah, Justin, Lance, Palmer, great crew of guys. It's going to be a great fight. But prediction.
I like Cody. I like his style. I've liked him ever since he came into the UFC. He's aggressive. I like his style of fighting. He brings the fight, but he's in a controlled manner, and I think he's going to catch. Because of the volume he's going to throw, he's going to catch Dominic when he zigs, when he should have zagged.
Like I said, I can't say enough about the champ. I'm smelling upset. I've seen Cody. He's stopped through here on a visit just to say hey, and when he was out in the Midwest, I just think the stars are aligning for him. I think if there's anyone who has enough aggressive power and strength to give Dominic a run for his money, it's Cody. Because TJ, very good fighter, awesome training program he has with Coach Dwayne Ludwig. At times he uses some of Dominic's movement along with TJ's power. It actually negates TJ's power. I think if TJ were a little more like Cody, he would win that close fight. I thought the last fight was great earlier this year in January, and I just smell an upset. I think if you don't play Dominic's game, which is hard to do, I mean, he does have a win over flyweight great, one of the best in the sport, Demetrius Johnson. So I'm smelling upset, but I'm not saying it's going to be easy. Cruz is a hell of a champion. This is hard. We do predictions. It's not putting anyone down. You got to pick a winner, and I'm just feeling Cody with the upset. Now the main event. Very interesting fight. We've got one of the prolific draws in the sport. You don't see too often that someone comes off of a loss and put back in a title fight. Sometimes maybe to rematch the person, but the fact remains in the UFC. We saw that at UFC on Fox 22. They had the best ratings in 3 years with Paige and Sage on there, even though they didn't prevail. Some people are like, that's not a purist thing, but there's 600 other fighters who are getting opportunities because we've got McGregor's, Rousey's coming in and pushing the needle for the UFC. That being said, keys to victory for the champion and the contender. Let's start with the champion, Amanda Nunes.
Amanda Nunes is very tough, very strong. Big 135er. It's 5'9", 130. I don't know what she walks around at, but she's got really strong. I think if she can keep her distance, don't try to rush in on Ronda where her judo is going to come into play. If she stays long and uses striking, I think she can do very similar to fight with Miesha Tate. If she just can't get too emotional and try to come out too big and be the one to finish her, because if she closes that gap, that judo is going to come into play. And being thrown is is a lot different than being taken down.
Agreed, 100%. And what are Ronda's keys to being successful in this fight?
Ronda's, again, if she overcomes this her loss, she's got to go out there. I think she has to use the boxing to close the ground. Kicks and use the boxing, get against the cage, and she's obviously shown she has strong knees, elbows in, and then if they move the wrong way, her judo is the best in women's, obviously. So she uses her judo to get it to the ground, because when she's in throw, she's fantastic at those transitions of the submissions. So I think she can close the distance without taking damage, and then get the fight where she wants it to be.
Well, for Nunes, I think she needs to use her size and her reach. We talked about this earlier in the segment, not to get tight in the beginning of the fight, because that's what Ronda does well. She kind of forces. Kat Zingano came at her, Miesha came at her, and it really gives Ronda what she wants. And I actually predicted the Holly Holm fight defeating Ronda Rousey, because Holly's experience from boxing, she was good at fighting backwards and patience, and that's the key. Not only is Ronda a great judo practitioner, but she's shown in her whole MMA career that she has killer instinct. She's coming. She's hungry. She wants to attack. So by slowing it down, you got to slow her down, because her ferocity of wanting to make things happen, whether it's a hard knee, and that's what you got to watch out with Ronda. I think that Amanda has a very good chance of winning the fight. It's just she needs that patience. Now again, Ronda, she's got to keep it dirty. She's got to make it a fight. She's shown that when she makes it a la street fight, that she's prevailed in that situation. When she doesn't make it a perfect polished boxing or kickboxing match, but she makes it a mixed martial arts old school fight, she does well. Like I said, both great fighters, great camps. We have the pleasure of sometimes working with ATT with our friend Tyron Woodley. They're a really great group of people. Going to prepare their champion well. And then obviously Ronda Rousey, she's got a lot of great people around her. She's built a great team that helped her to this point with all of her success in this sport. So prediction in the main event.
I predict the champion is going to prevail. I think that I don't know if Ronda can overcome her knockout loss and being away. And I think if the game plan, like I said, is very similar, Amanda stays the same game plan against Miesha, she can do the same thing. Stay along with her punches, very simple, basic stuff, but I think she can keep her at the distance, finish her.
I'm going to go with Ronda Rousey on this one. And I think she's coming in for all the marbles. It's her legacy. I think this is probably going to be one of her last fights. She's an Olympic athlete, national champion, world-class judoka. I mean, you know, when you have that type of mentality your whole life, I think she's going to find a way to overcome. You know, if the world knows about what Holly did in her fight, so does Rhonda and her team, and she's going to make some adjustments as well. And I think that's all fighting is. Sometimes great fighters lose, you make adjustments. That being said, I think Amanda Nunes has a very big opportunity to win this fight as well. I think the matchmaking's superb, and it's, you know, going to end an incredible year of fights. Any other points to add on these fights?
No, I mean, if they both, it's basically, I think, on both fights, main and the co-main, who can go in and pose the world. What I was going to say earlier with Cody. Cody is one of the nicest young men I've ever met. I mean, I've met him numerous times, talked to him, we sat and had conversations. But when he gets in a cage, he flips a switch. He becomes a different person, and that's what you got to have. He's not being mean, but he just becomes a different person, and he goes out there and he fights, and it's like I like seeing that in a young guy.
No, in Thailand they call that the Chai Dam, the black heart. He knows how to. You know, that's the thing. There's a lot of great people in this sport. We go to these events all the time, but the special people are the guy when they shut that cage door behind them. They like you said, the flip switch, the change of turning into that warrior, almost like Maximus in Gladiator when he grabs the dirt and it's time to go to war. That being said, keep enjoying Duke Roufus Striking University and keep sending suggestions to us. As well, we're going to be starting our monthly free webinars. We're going to be broadcasting those out of our Duke Roufus Striking page, so it's not on our Facebook page. We're going to be broadcasting off there, and as well we're going to be doing it off Instagram. Going to have a lot of special guests, but look for the announcement of that. I love my life. I love martial arts. Martial arts is life to me. It's saved my life, given me my life, given me my lifestyle. So I'm very committed to giving back to martial arts in our community. So this year I'm going to have a lot of sharing and caring. We try and, you know, we have our great sponsors, McBride Mats, the official mat of Roufus Sport. We do sharing techniques every Tuesday. Check it out if you haven't seen it yet. Every Thursday, Combat Corner, punches and kicks and other ill shit. Combat Corner, incredible gear backing us, keeping us safe, training. Just great gear from Thailand and all over the world, every discipline. We share a lot of technique and etc. And we just share a lot of old fights. I share a lot of different fights. I love sharing. You know, hit me up on Instagram if you got a cool video you want me to share. I got a good following. I like sharing and caring. Like I said, follow Coach Kush on Instagram. Where you at?
Scott Kushman.
Yeah, Scott Kushman. So if you ever want my man to come out, he's really good with MMA, boxing, striking, and obviously kickboxing as well. He's always giving seminars, and he was the winning striking coach on season 20 of The Ultimate Fighter for Team Pettis. So till then, everyone have an incredible new year. 2016 has been some really highs, unfortunately some really lows, but I'm proud of every one of the people on our Roufus Sport headquarter team, our worldwide Roufus Sport team, and I thank everyone who supports our stuff, and I hope you like what we're putting out. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys. Happy holidays.
Hey, what's up, guys? And you know what? If you like this message that I'm giving you, if you care, share. If you want more people to hear what I'm talking about and you like what I'm talking about, please share the message. I'm just here to help everyone. Been through a lot of ups and downs and arounds, and anything I can do to help my fellow man. Peace.
You're a martial artist who wants to improve your technique and knowledge of the fight game. The best way to dramatically improve your skills is to join the Duke Roufus Striking University. You'll find every imaginable skill, drill, and sequence broke down, so you really understand the concept and details. And yes, there is a lot more. Click over to DukeRoufus.com and try it out now for 2 weeks for just $1.